It was a real privilege to moderate a panel with these two gentlemen, Brian and Lynn, and Helge, who's not here, about Gigabit and beyond. And we were talking about inside the building. What do you do? You can get Gigabit to a building, but what then do you do? And so, Brian, why don't we start with you? What was a takeaway for you from this?
Yeah, I think that our deployment technology's been fiber related for MDU deployments. So one thing that I really took away was Helge's presence in learning a little bit more about MoCA. We have used MoCA on the residential side some, but to know that they're providing a platform that's more MDU based and the access side of it, I found that to be something that was interesting, and I really didn't know much about that, so I'm going to do some research there and see if it fits in our footprint.
Excellent. And Lynn?
So many of the things that I saw as far as when we looked at it from a standpoint of the four technologies that could be used as far as in an MDU, whether if you do the fiber and do a complete new build as far as in it, or a G.Fast, or a G.hn, or the MoCA as far as technology. So there's a lot of different places that people can go depending on what the apartment or the building owner had as far as available for them to go ahead and make that final 300 feet or 200 feet as far as into each of the facilities.
Yeah, that was kind of my impression, that you need a lot of tools in that toolbox, right?
Yeah, I think layer one, everyone's familiar with the OSI model, but layer one is usually the biggest decision factor, is what you're walking into at the actual MDU site. So whether you have the best uniformity or the best plan of action for deployment, sometimes you run into that hurdle just with simply what's provided already in the building, access to the walls. Of course, your relationship with the owner of the MDU itself can be a struggle within itself, but that's usually our leading factor on making the decision, is the layer one technology that's already there.
That makes sense. And one of the things that we kind of ended on was the integration of wireless of 5G, and that sounds like an interesting thing.
Oh, it's going to be a great next step as far as for anyone that's looking at the MDU premise, as far as being able to go ahead and use either with Wi-Fi or use the 5G frequencies as far as coming off of a gateway as far as internal to the building, and then have it run all the way back as far as to the mobile operator, and then so you could be in the building operating as far as on your phone, and then walk back out and then be on the outside network as well.
Yeah, and you looked at it. It sounds like it's an opportunity, Brian.
Yeah, it is a bit of an opportunity for us. Of course, there's some ideas out there that 5G in all scenarios is going to need a backhaul, whether that is on existing residential or MDU infrastructure, or whether it's on the poles in the street. And of course, us being a fiber-rich provider in a rural area, we see the opportunity to provide that backhaul in the pipe that provides the signal at the end for the 5G experience for customers.
Yeah, you ultimately have that relationship with those building owners and so forth, right?
Exactly. We're there anyways. We see a lot of times when some of these services that are a little more Tier 1 tied, you see them first with the Tier 1 operators. We follow suit with what they're doing, and of course, any opportunity for us to get a piece of the pie versus being excluded from the table is what we shoot for. So having our plant, really making sure that our deployment and our plant resources are available at most locations is what we're focusing now to prepare for 5G.
Excellent. And the other thing too is, from the MoCA presentation, as far as looking at it and being able to see how they operate as far as worldwide and the different operations that they provide, and learning a little bit as far as from what different countries are doing and how it interfaces and some of that. I thought it was a very great presentation as far as to see not only what we see in the U.S., but also how it's affected as far as around the world.
Excellent. Well, I really appreciate both your being on the panel and being here, and it looks like there's a panel about open networking, so we can go listen in on that. So thank you.
Thank you.